Alex had seen many strange things in his career as an interstellar explorer, but nothing prepared him for Violia. The planet was alive with colors he could barely describe, glowing plants, floating rivers, and creatures that seemed part light, part solid. But the most fascinating inhabitants were the Lixorians, small, delicate aliens with shimmering skin that changed color with their emotions, and enormous, expressive eyes that sparkled with curiosity. The first time Alex met Luma, she was perched on a floating mossy rock near his landing pod, tilting her head as she watched him unpack his equipment. She was tiny, no taller than a human child, but her presence was magnetic. Her bright green skin glimmered in the sunlight, and her hair-like tendrils floated gently around her face, moving as if they sensed every motion he made. "Hello," Alex said softly, not wanting to startle her. He raised a hand in greeting, and after a moment of hesitation, Luma mirrored him. Her tiny fingers met his, and for a moment Alex felt the odd, fragile connection of trust. "You're small," he remarked, "but very fast, and very curious." Luma's eyes widened in delight, and a soft hum escaped her throat, a sound that seemed to mean laughter. She stepped closer and gestured toward the bundle of human notes and tools he had laid out. Alex chuckled. "Curious about science, huh? That's good. Curiosity is the first step to learning." From that day on, Alex spent hours with Luma, teaching her about human ways, how humans laughed, how they expressed emotions, how they communicated beyond words. Luma absorbed every lesson like a sponge, repeating gestures, mimicking sounds, and asking endless questions. She was fascinated by how humans showed affection, how they held each other's hands, and how they shared moments of joy. One afternoon, after a particularly long session of mimicking laughter and hugging practice, Luma tilted her head and asked the question that made Alex pause. "Wait," she said, her voice high and musical, "humans reproduce like that. Can I try too?" Alex froze for a moment, caught off guard. The question was innocent, naive, but it carried a weight of curiosity that was unmistakable. He smiled gently, kneeling down to her level. "Luma, reproduction is very personal. It's something humans do when they care for each other deeply. It's not something you can just try without understanding." Luma blinked, her eyes wide and shimmering. "But I want to understand. You said humans feel emotions that guide them. I want to feel that too." Alex laughed softly, realizing he had a brilliant mind before him. "You can understand emotions, yes, but reproduction itself involves feelings, trust, and connection. You don't just copy it. It's about forming a bond with someone you care for." Her tendrils quivered with excitement. "A bond? I want a bond. Show me, please." Alex shook his head but smiled. "I can show you how humans bond without crossing any boundaries. We can play games, share stories, and practice trust. You'll feel the human way of connecting, but safely." Luma clapped her tiny hands and bounced in place. "Yes, teach me everything." And so began their unique lessons. Alex invented games to teach her empathy and patience, simple exercises in listening and understanding. He told stories about human families, friendships, and the way humans care for each other. Luma absorbed every detail, mimicking gestures, hugging imaginary friends, and repeating phrases with delicate precision. Other Lixorians began noticing the strange bond forming between Alex and Luma. They hovered nearby, curious but cautious, observing how the human interacted with one of their own. Alex quickly realized that this was an opportunity, not just to teach Luma, but to show the whole community the depth of human emotion. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the floating forest, Alex sat cross-legged on the moss while Luma perched beside him, eyes glowing softly. "Alex," she asked, "why do humans need love to reproduce?" Alex thought carefully. "Love is more than just feelings. It's trust, care, and understanding. Humans need to connect on that level so they can raise children safely, protect each other, and make strong communities. It's not just about biology. It's about life, and the bond makes everything stronger. Luma hummed thoughtfully as if storing the information for later. Then she bounced up suddenly. "Can we try a bonding game now?" Alex chuckled. "All right, but remember, bonding is about feelings, not just actions. Close your eyes and try to imagine someone you care for. Picture their happiness, their comfort, their joy." Luma closed her eyes tightly, her skin flickering shades of blue and green. Alex guided her patiently, helping her understand the depth of focus and care humans invest in relationships. Slowly, a small smile spread across her face. "I feel warmth," she whispered, "like my tendrils are happy." "That's good," Alex said softly. "That's part of the human experience, feeling warmth for someone else without needing to do anything else." The other Lixorians grew bolder, circling closer, their curiosity palpable. One of them, a slightly older Lixorian named Fiera, asked in her melodic voice, "Why does he teach her this? Is it dangerous?" Alex shook his head. "No danger. I'm showing her the emotional part of being human. It's about understanding, not action." Fiera tilted her head. "We have never seen our kind do this. She glows differently when she listens. It is beautiful." The Lixorians watched as Luma practiced hugging imaginary friends, listening to Alex's stories, and mimicking human gestures. Every motion was infused with her own innocent interpretation, her skin shifting colors in ways that reflected her emotions. She laughed freely, a high melodic sound that made Alex's chest ache with fondness for her curiosity. One day, Alex prepared a new exercise. He built a small obstacle course in the floating moss forest to teach trust. Luma had to follow Alex's voice and gestures through the course, relying on his guidance without seeing the path herself. "Are you ready?" Alex asked. "Yes," Luma chirped, bouncing in excitement. Alex gave her gentle instructions, guiding her through narrow bridges of floating plants, across streams of glowing liquid, and under low-hanging vines. Every time she stumbled, Alex offered a hand, which she learned to accept with growing confidence. By the end of the course, Luma's tendrils glowed brighter than ever, a sign of pure joy and accomplishment. "You see," Alex said, "humans trust each other and support each other through challenges. That is part of bonding." Luma's eyes sparkled. "I see, I understand. I want to learn more." As the weeks passed, Luma's fascination with humans grew. She no longer just mimicked Alex, she asked questions about the human heart, about emotions humans could feel that Lixorians could not. She asked about friendship, loyalty, and courage. Each lesson left her more animated, more eager to explore the strange, beautiful world of humans. One quiet evening, as the two watched the twin moons reflect on a floating lake, Luma asked softly, "Alex, do humans always feel this way, happy when they bond?" Alex smiled, taking a deep breath. "Not always. Sometimes bonding brings sadness or frustration, but the joy of connection outweighs the difficulties. That's why humans protect each other and care so deeply. Bonds are worth the risk." Luma pondered this silently. Then she reached out a tiny hand and touched Alex's. "I think I like this, I like bonding." Alex felt a warmth in his chest, a proud, gentle feeling. He nodded. "Good, that's the first step. You're learning the human way. Remember, it's about understanding and care, not just action. You'll grow in ways you cannot yet imagine." The story in part 1 closes with Luma curling up near Alex, her eyes reflecting the moons above. She hummed a soft tune, a sound of wonder and contentment. Around them, other Lixorians watched silently, a mix of curiosity and admiration in their glowing eyes. Alex realized that what he was teaching went beyond simple curiosity. It was the beginning of a cultural exchange, a bridge between humans and Lixorians, built on understanding, patience, and care. He smiled to himself, knowing that tomorrow would bring new lessons, more questions, and even deeper bonds. Luma's innocent curiosity about human reproduction had led them both to something far more profound: the joy of connecting, of learning, and of sharing life across the stars. The morning sun bathed Violia in a warm, golden glow, and Alex watched as Luma bounded through the floating moss fields with her usual energy. Her tendrils shimmered like sunlight on water, each flicker reflecting her excitement. Today, Alex planned a new exercise, a bonding challenge that would teach Luma more about human trust and emotional connection. "Luma," Alex called, "today we'll play the trust and guide game. Are you ready?" "Yes," Luma chirped, bouncing on her tiny feet. "I want to feel more, teach me everything." Alex smiled, appreciating her enthusiasm. He had designed a course of floating platforms above a shallow, glowing stream with twists, turns, and gentle obstacles. The idea was simple. Luma would close her eyes and rely entirely on Alex's voice and guidance to navigate it. "Close your eyes," Alex instructed, "and imagine I am guiding you with my care. Focus on my words, trust me, and move slowly." Luma obeyed, her skin turning a soft blue as she focused. Alex's voice guided her, telling her when to step, when to reach, and when to stretch her tendrils for balance. She stumbled once but caught herself, smiling when Alex cheered her on. "This is how humans help each other," Alex said. "Trust builds bonds. Helping, guiding, supporting, it makes relationships stronger." By the end of the course, Luma's tendrils glowed brightly, her eyes sparkling with pride and excitement. "I feel happy," she said. "This is different from anything we do." "I like it," Alex nodded. "That's the human way. Bonds are about understanding and support. Now you know what it feels like to trust and be trusted." The other Lixorians, who had been watching from a distance, now approached, curiosity overcoming caution. Fiera, the older Lixorian, spoke first. "This human way, it is strange but beautiful. Can we try?" Alex smiled. "Of course. Trust and care can be shared with anyone. It's not exclusive to humans." One by one, the Lixorians took turns on the course. Luma guided them sometimes, giggling as she offered advice, her own understanding of human bonding growing with each interaction. Alex watched in amazement as these tiny aliens began to grasp the abstract concepts he had tried so hard to explain. They were learning not just through instruction, but through experience, through play, through the joy of connection. After the course, Alex gathered the group for a storytelling session. He sat cross-legged on a moss-covered rock while the Lixorians formed a circle around him. "Humans often tell stories," he began. "Stories about family, friendship, courage, and love. Through stories, we share feelings and lessons. Today, I'll tell you one about trust." He spoke of a human explorer who had traveled to distant planets, facing dangers alone, but always returning to help friends and strangers alike. He described how trust, patience, and understanding had saved the explorer's life more than once. The Lixorians listened, enraptured, their skins shimmering with each emotional shift in the story. When Alex finished, Luma spoke softly. "Alex, humans feel so deeply. I want to understand more. Can I practice?" "Of course," Alex said. "Let's try something new today, a bonding exercise using imagination and emotion." He guided Luma through a series of exercises, imagining someone she cared for, picturing their happiness, sending warmth and support toward them, and sensing their response. Luma's tendrils glimmered brighter with each success, reflecting her growing emotional awareness. "This is amazing," she exclaimed. "I never knew bonding could feel like this. Not just energy, but warmth, care, joy. I feel connected." Alex smiled. "That's the human way. Humans connect through emotions, trust, and care. It's what makes us strong together. And now you understand it too." The Lixorians' fascination continued to grow. They experimented with human-style gestures, imitating hugs, hand-holding, and even sharing stories in their own language. The results were hilarious, heartwarming, and astonishing. Alex watched as Luma attempted to teach the others the bonding exercises, her tiny voice full of excitement, her tendrils lighting up in patterns that reflected her emotions. One day, Luma approached Alex with an idea. Alex, can I combine human bonding with our energy rituals? Maybe we can make something new. Alex was intrigued. That's an excellent idea, but remember, bonding is about emotions, not force. You need to focus on care and understanding. Luma nodded seriously. That afternoon, she led the other Lixorians in a modified energy ritual. They focused not only on their traditional energy flows, but also on the emotions Alex had taught them: warmth, trust, and connection. The effect was mesmerizing. Colors danced above their heads, blending with laughter and hums, creating a spectacle that no human had ever witnessed. Alex's eyes widened. Incredible! You've created something entirely new, Luma. A true fusion of Lixorian energy and human emotion. Luma beamed. It feels wonderful. I feel happy, proud, connected. The other Lixorians cheered, their excitement filling the air. Even Fiera, who had been skeptical at first, admitted softly, This is beautiful. We feel something new. We understand more." As the days passed, Alex continued teaching, but now the Lixorians also began experimenting on their own. They discovered ways to combine their natural energy rituals with human-like gestures of care, creating displays of joy, trust, and communal bonding. Luma often acted as the bridge, teaching her kind while learning more herself. One quiet evening, as the twin moons reflected on the floating lake, Alex and Luma sat side by side. The water shimmered like liquid light, mirroring their own reflections. Luma hummed softly, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Alex, humans are different," she said. "Not just how they look, but how they feel. I like it. I want to know more every day." Alex smiled. "You're learning fast, Luma. You're understanding the human way of connecting, caring, and supporting. That's more important than anything else. It's what makes humans human." Luma nodded. "I understand, and I will teach others too. We can mix our ways and yours, and maybe everyone can feel this too." Alex felt a warmth in his chest, a sense of pride and wonder. This small alien, so eager to learn, had not only embraced human lessons but had also expanded them, creating something new and extraordinary. In the following weeks, Alex documented the experiments, noting how Lixorians responded to human bonding exercises, how they integrated emotions into their rituals, and how Luma's leadership accelerated the learning process. He realized that this knowledge could revolutionize human-alien understanding, showing that empathy, trust, and care were universal principles that could bridge any species. One day, as Alex prepared to leave Violia, Luma ran up to him, tendrils flickering with excitement. "Alex, will you come back? I want to learn more. We are not finished." Alex knelt down, meeting her gaze. "I promise I will return. You've learned so much already, and you've taught me as well. I'll be back to continue our lessons." Luma hugged him, her small body radiating warmth and joy. Alex laughed softly, feeling the strength of their bond, one built on trust, understanding, and shared curiosity. As Alex boarded his ship, he looked back at the floating forests, the glowing streams, and the tiny figure of Luma waving goodbye. He knew that the lessons he had taught, and the ones he had learned, would last a lifetime. Humans had shown their intelligence, patience, and emotional depth not through force or conquest, but through kindness, curiosity, and the ability to connect with others, even across species. Luma's question, innocent and naive at first, had sparked something far greater: the blending of cultures, the sharing of ideas, and the discovery that emotions and care could transcend biology and species boundaries. As the ship lifted off, Alex watched Violia shrink beneath him. He felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that humans had once again proven their unique strength, the ability to inspire, teach, and connect. And somewhere below, Luma and the other Lixorians were glowing brighter than ever, a testament to the power of curiosity, learning, and the human way of bonding. Alex smiled, ready for his next adventure, knowing that the universe had endless lessons to teach, and that humanity had a gift worth sharing with every corner of the stars.